Hi, this is Ana. I'm here with Tonebase. I'm really excited because they had asked me to do a lesson on one of the most beloved pieces in the classical guitar repertoire, Asturias, Leyenda. This piece is such an iconic part of the classical guitar repertoire. It demonstrates the guitar as an instrument. It really demonstrates all the beautiful possibilities that the guitar has. It has really become one of my absolute favorite pieces that I played for many years. So I would like to share that with you, and if you're interested, please check it out. Thank you so much. So we have some really interesting questions today. Thank you so much. The first one is from Jose. He's asking, do you have a pre-performance routine? Do you have advice for people who struggle with performance anxiety? We all struggle with that. I mean, it's just human to be nervous before the performance because it's such an unexpected situation. Even if you are prepared very well, you still feel a little bit of that anxiety before the performance, which is actually natural and not so bad. If we just don't feel anything, that means that we don't really care about what we do. So I think it's really healthy to have a little bit of that nervousness and anxiety before the performance. What I would suggest everyone to do is the number one thing is the preparation part has to be done really well. So you have to prepare your piece or your pieces that you're playing. Don't play something if you don't feel ready. The second is just, I think a lot of it is just the state of mind. We tend to put a lot of pressure on ourselves to always do well and be perfect, which is I think it's just an unnecessary pressure that we put on ourselves. Just remember that the audience is there to enjoy the music with you, to breathe with you, to listen to you. They're not there to judge you, and they just want to be able to enjoy themselves. So, and when you realize that, you will be more free, and just don't be too stressed. We have a question from Jen. She's asking, if you could change anything about the industry, what would it be? This is a really interesting question. I think I wouldn't necessarily change anything. It's just I think what we're all striving for is to present the classical guitar maybe perhaps to a wider audience, young people especially that love music and would like to play an instrument. And maybe if they hear a guitar, they will get interested and start playing classical guitar. I wish that we can really give the classical guitar the recognition that it deserves. So, but that takes a lot of time, and yeah, that's probably the only thing I wouldn't change anything else. So, Gary is asking, what is the best advice you've been given? Great question. Maybe one of the best advices I've got from my parents, my family, and to always stay humble and to appreciate what I do and to appreciate my audience. And it is such a honor to be able to do this, to be able to travel and meet people and learn about different cultures. I would probably never be in this situation if I didn't, play guitar. So that's very important to me. But it's also a responsibility. The advice that you get from your mentors is also very important. And I've had several teachers that really kind of shaped me in a player that I am today. So yes, all these things are really important. So Christopher is asking, how do you make time for creativity? I think inspiration is really important to me. So I get inspired by different things in life, and I think that probably helps me to be creative in a way. So I think from life experiences that we go through, perhaps make us better musicians, and lessons we learn along the way. So I would say that in music, I try to surround myself with a lot of different types of music, and when I'm in my car, I listen to all kinds of music, and it's not only classical, but all other genres like pop, rock, jazz, blues. And that also helps me to stay creative. I get inspired by other artists, and everything. I don't know, everything in life kind of helps me to stay creative. So I hope that answers your question. Next question is from Ronnie. So he would like to know. He says that I often see you playing the standard classical guitar repertoire. So, which living composer's music do you like to play? And have you worked with any, or do you plan to? Yes, I would love to work with living composer, absolutely. And this is something that perhaps will happen in the future. I do feel more connected towards the standard classical guitar repertoire. It's just something that is very special to me, very dear to me, and so I really kind of immerse myself in that. That's standard repertoire, because it's really hard for me to play something that I don't feel fully connected to. So that's why I choose that. But in the future, I would love to explore more, and I have some really good friends that are really good composers. So perhaps we'll come up with something. But I think as a player, it's really crucial, to really connect to the piece that you are playing. So yeah, but we'll see. Maybe in the future there will be some more chances to to work with the living composer. So next question is from Morgan. She wants to know, how do I break down new pieces to master? This is a new repertoire. So do you repeatedly play them over and over until they're fully memorized? Or do you have any other tricks to reveal? And she would also like to know how you get by the thresholds when in periods of time it feels like very little progress is made. When you're learning new pieces, there are usually 4 or 5 steps that you should take. The first decision, I guess, that has to be made is which piece you would like to play. If you decide to play a piece that you've heard someone play, or something that you're really interested, something that you feel like you're going to connect with, and then you just take the steps. You study the score. Sometimes even without the guitar, it's really helpful to study the score and make some notes. Then you read the notes. You work on the fingerings. I usually work on a left hand separately, and then the right hand. And then when that is done, then I go into the next step, which is dynamics. I try to learn about the character of the piece, what I would like to say with it, and how I would like to portray it. The last step is usually memorization. So I go through these steps very, very, very slowly. So I don't go to the next step if I don't feel ready to go to the next step. It just saves a lot of time. And because I don't want to learn the wrong way, I like to learn the right way, so I don't have to fix the mistakes later. Many years ago, I used to memorize by just repeating the sections over and over and over again. But over time, I felt like it wasn't strong enough. I didn't feel like my memory was strong enough. So I started visualizing the pieces more in my mind, so that I could really understand the music and see the music a little more clearly. And that will make your memorization much, much clearer. Remember that it will take a long time, that it will not happen overnight. It's going to be a long process, but it's really helpful to take these steps. So Louis is asking, you travel a lot. What essential things do you always bring with you? What's in your gig bag? I do like to travel really light. So many years ago when I started traveling, I would always carry this huge bag with too much stuff. And over the years, every year I take less and less and less stuff. So now I travel with a little bag. and it's so much easier. So I guess, I learned how to travel with less stuff, and it's so much easier to maneuver, especially if you're traveling. If you're on tour and you're traveling to different places. In my gig bag, I love bananas, so I always eat bananas before I go to perform on stage. Usually 3 or 4 bananas. It really helps with nervousness for some reason, so that's a must. But other than that, a few sets of strings just in case something happens. Nail filer and lotion. Lotion is good because it makes the squeaks in the left hand better. So if you put a little bit of lotion on your left hand, it's really helpful. So, but I think that's about it. So, yeah. So Steph is asking, what type of guitar do you play, and what is the story of how you got it? So I play an Australian guitar made by Jim Redgate, a beautiful instrument that I've been playing for many years, probably 9 or 10 years already. So I was first introduced to it by a friend of mine who had it and who wanted me to try it. And this was just before a concert. So he gave me the guitar to try, and I immediately loved it and felt connected with it. So so that I decided to play the concert with it. So it just, for me, is a very personal thing and personal preference. And I feel like I have to connect with the instrument. So, and I'm still connected with it, and I'm still exploring, all the sounds. And people often ask me, do you play other instruments by other makers? And of course there's so many today, and there's so many great makers. But I don't know, this Redgate guitar is really something that I enjoy, and it takes a lot of time, to explore the instrument fully, and to explore all the sounds. And the instrument is changing over the years, so you always feel like surprised that there's a new sound coming out of it. So it's really it's a really special instrument for me. Joel is asking, how do you pick new repertoire? It just varies from year to year. Usually, I do some research, and if I find a piece that I really love and again connect with, I'll choose to play it. My brother is a guitarist as well, so he's my inspiration as well. So I don't know. I have inspirations from different artists and different people. But one thing that is a must every year, I learn a new piece by Bach, because I love Bach and he's one of my favorite composers. And again, I feel most connected with Bach's music. So that is a must every year. I'll learn a new piece, and my goal is to do a program with just Bach's music. So I try to collect as many pieces and learn as many pieces so that I can put all the Bach's music in one program and perhaps do a tour. But then I try to have a mixture of different pieces in my program, and I also listen to and try to feel what the audience likes to hear. And they do prefer mixture, so some Bach, some Spanish composers, just different things, because everybody likes something different. So you want to be able to present, a mixture of composers and a variety. And so that's how I, pick a new repertoire. But as I said before, it's a long process, and I try not to play new pieces too soon. If I don't feel ready, they have to be really ready, because the first time you play a new piece is really the most difficult time, and you really feel it. So for me personally, it's a really long process. So, but again, you have to change the repertoire every year. You put something new, and you also keep some old pieces ready as well. And yeah, that's how you do it. So.